So, John 4, verse 24. God is spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and truth. John chapter 4, verse 24. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Now, this is such an important quote from the God-man, in spirit and in truth. Now, spirit obviously is something non-physical, so we don't think of flesh or matter when we say spirit. We think of something etheric, something non-physical, unseen. So in our training practice, we use the term spiritual intention, which kind of links the mind to the spirit. So spiritual, spirit, intention, mind, intent. So when we worship in spirit, we're aligning with our spiritual body. Now, our etheric or energetic system links to our emotional, links to our mental, links to our spiritual. And then the question becomes, because this can seem quite fluffy or ephemeral, quite hard to grasp, because we say in spirit, like what does that mean? There is actually an indicator which allows you to be conscious of whether you're actually worshiping in spirit. So when we say spiritual intent, or to align with spirit, we think of God, love, peace, wisdom, joy, all the qualities that lead us towards him. And let's just take love, for example. And as you focus on love, you'll notice a shift in the emotional quality. There'll be a shift in your vibrational frequency and how you feel. So this kind of indicates the worshipping in spirit. So you can simply think of your spiritual intention, okay? Love, joy, freedom, God, Christ, oneness, whatever it might be. And use the emotional quality as the indicator of alignment. So it's a very simple way to start to know, okay, am I worshiping in spirit? And then the next component, which is quite interesting, is in truth. Worshiping in spirit and in truth. And it's okay, truth is obvious, it's to not be false, it's to not be lying, it's to be sincere, to be honest. And from our practice, from the esoteric Christian practice, the truth factor comes to sensing. So in my experience, sensing is the ability to sense oneself in space. So you can think of sensation as a gateway. So the sensation is of the physical body. So if you have the sensation of your butt on the seat or your feet on the floor, you're conscious of your sensation. Now, as you are aware of your sensation, to be aware that there is a non-physical component to that. So each cell is part matter, part space, part density, part frequency. So sense is the non-physical component, like energy, and sensation is the physical component, matter. So when one senses themselves as is, as you are, you lean into truth, because you aren't daydreaming of the future, you aren't, ruminating or reminiscing on the past. You're present to things as they are through sensing. So spirit is to align with God, the non-physical, and to align from emotional quality as an indicator. That gives you a simple kind of framework or tool to know when you are in a sense of alignment, in a sense of devotional worship to God in spirit. And in truth is via sensing yourself present as is. So sensing yourself in space, not getting caught up in thoughts and emotions of the present, past, the past, the future, and to really sit with yourself as you are, so in truth, and to have the intent to let go of any false idols or negative programs, or positionalities is a good word, like perceptions of things as the way you think they should be or are, but to really sit with yourself as is through sensing. So it's a different mechanism to thinking and feeling. It's really just being conscious to the sense of your space, similar to sensation as before. So in spirit and in truth. And we'll finish that up again. It was John 4:25, I believe, of memory. John 4:24, sorry. God is a spirit, and they that worship him in spirit and in truth. So, align with spirit, align with truth, and, glory be to God in the highest. Moving your consciousness, your mind, your heart, your strength, moving everything towards those higher levels of consciousness, our deeper sense of self, our spirit, our soul. God, who has been who has been shown the pathway through the Christ, through his life and example, and even through the teachers that came after him. So the disciples and great teachers like Dr. David Hawkins and Daskalos, Stilianos Atislis, also known as the Magus of Strogolos. So, one last final note. Daskalos used to say, you only really need two books. You need the Bible in your right hand and an anatomy book on the left hand if you wish to work in the kind of healing side of it. But in my opinion, it's also good to have his books as well, the esoteric teachings and the esoteric practices. All right, guys, worship in spirit and truth, much love. If you enjoy this type of teachings, if you enjoy esoteric Christian wisdom, make sure you follow and leave a comment so I can know more about what you guys would like to see and hear on this channel. Much love, and see you on the next video. Peace.